Hello, students. This is Teacher Ken. Welcome to today's class. We are going to an advanced level practice that is going to be about the past progressive with modals. On last class, we were able to practice simple past with modals and using them with have and then the verb in past participle. For example, she must have taken the bus. Must have taken the modal, then have, and then the verb in past participle, right? In this practice, we're going to be practicing, should have been studying, for example. Okay, so it's the modal have been, the verb to be in past participle, been, and then the verb with ing. It continues being progressive, and I am going to go ahead and just share the page on the book so that we can go ahead and get this started. Let's see. All right. So, as I mentioned, we're going to practice this structure. Give me just a moment. Let me just go ahead and fix this. Okay, perfect. So, we are going to see something that is similar to what we saw on the previous class. On the previous class, we saw, for example, he must have washed the car. Again, that is the modal auxiliary. We have, and then the verb is going to be in past participle. For today's structure, we're going to see he must have been washing the car. The structure is going to be the modal have been in past participle, and then we have the ing on the verb. Just do a little something here. Let's see. The biggest difference is going to be with been and ing, okay? Let me go ahead and read the rest of the examples, and I am also going to read what is here. I'm going to go from the beginning and I'm going to do the contrast. And after that, we're going to read the additional examples, and I'm going to show you one translation for you to see how it actually works in the Spanish structure, okay? So, again, he must have washed the car is I conclude that he washed it. A conclusion must for an action in past, have and the verb in past participle. In past incomplete, as we see on the book, it says he must have been washing the car. I conclude that he was washing it. Okay? So a couple of things to pay attention to. The must itself does not really define a verb, a tense. It doesn't tell you if it's in present or in past. What is actually helping me understand that this conclusion or this assumption is in the past tense, whether it's progressive or not, is the have and the have been with the ing, okay? Let's continue with the other examples. It says, he might have traveled by air. That one would become he might have been traveling by air. Whoops. Let me just correct that right here, just a moment. Okay, so again, he might have been traveling by air. Just a moment. Let's see. Okay. You guys know I do these underlinings because they are going to help you remember what things go where and what things are important for the different structures. I hope it helps during practice because it's very important for the kind of practice that we do in our class, right? So let's carry on. It says, he should have attended regularly versus he should have been attending regularly. And then he could have worked in the garden and he could have been working in the garden. One of the things that I wanted to show you guys in regards to the pronunciation in fluency, when we are speaking at a fluent regular rate, we don't say should have, could have, or must have. We, in pronunciation, we contract, let's say, that have, and it sounds only of, like OV, which means I don't say must have, I say must have. I don't say might have, I say might have or might have. Okay, if I flop the T, might have. Should have. It's not should have. It's okay to pronounce it separated, but people don't do that. So it's very important that you learn to recognize the sound, okay? Because you're not going to hear should have. He must have washed. They say he must have washed. He must have washed the car. He might have traveled by air. He should have attended regularly. He could have worked in the garden. Okay. And on the other side, we continue contracting the pronunciation of that have. And it says, he must have been washing the car. He might have been traveling by air. He should have been attending regularly. He could have been working in the garden. Let me just finish doing the underlining here. I want to make sure that I keep those visual learners covered. Let's see. So again, the difference between the one that we had on the previous class and the one that we have today is going to be the been and the verb with ing. Let me go ahead and add the last bit right here. Remember, guys, that we are using the English sentence structure book. Right now, we are on page 257 of the PDF book that is available completely for free on the descriptions of the podcast episodes and on the YouTube channel. And in case you are using the physical book or the purchased book that you can also get through one of the links in the descriptions of the episodes and the YouTube videos, you are able to purchase the physical book and get it to your house. You're buying it through Amazon. And when you buy it, you are also supporting this project. You are able to get it to your house and you will be able to use that. It's going to be on page 244 244, okay? So 244 on the physical book, 257 on the PDF that I have available on my podcast. Now, let me go to the additional examples because I know that it's a little tricky to understand when we would like to use this structure, okay? So I'm going to read these additional examples for you. It says, what was John doing when you saw him in the office? He wasn't doing anything, but he should have been working. There was nobody with him, but he was looking at the floor and smiling. He must have been thinking about something very amusing. I don't know why he was still there at that hour. He might have been waiting for somebody. Okay, so again, we are using the structure with the have been and the ing, okay? And that means that this is talking about, well, in this case, because we're using should, and we remember that should is for recommendations, you are saying that this person recommends that at that time, that person was supposed to be working, okay? Let's see, right here it says, he must have been thinking about something very amusing. Let me finish the highlighting here, okay? So, he must have been thinking. Must, in this case, is used for conclusions or assumptions. So I conclude that at that moment, he was thinking about something very amusing. And then the last one says, he might have been waiting for somebody. Again, we have the have been right here, okay? And we have, just a moment, might in this case is for a possibility, a probability, not as assured as a must. It's just a guess, okay? And he is guessing that this person was waiting for somebody at that moment. So again, he might have been waiting for somebody. I usually don't give translations in the advanced level, and I don't give translations in general. I like explaining things either in English or in Spanish for my students. And my advanced students don't need Spanish. But I know that this structure is something that is advanced level. And when we are in advanced level, even native speakers have difficulty expressing or explaining when we should use it, which is why I like to take advantage of your first language, Spanish, right? Our first language, Spanish. I have a comparison right here. I just wanted to show it to you so that you could see. And it's right here. It says, what was John doing? He wasn't doing anything, but he should have been studying. Again, should have been and the ing, right? That is the one that we have on the book also. Let's see it in Spanish. ¿Qué estaba haciendo Juan? No estaba haciendo nada, pero debería haber estado estudiando. Okay? So, in this case, you are giving a recommendation that the person was supposed to be studying at that moment in the past. And that is the correct situation in which we are going to use the structure for this class, okay? Now that you understand it, we're going to practice it with an exercise in the book. We're going to lesson 22, exercise 5, okay? That is in page, again, 244 of the physical book, 257 of the PDF. And we're going to practice the structure with might have been and the action with ing, okay? So again, might have, okay? Let's go ahead and use all the colors. Might have been, and then the ing, okay? I am going to go ahead and prompt you with the example. I'm going to give you a moment to say the correct answer, and after that, I am going to say it correctly so that you can compare it with your own, and I will give you a moment so you can repeat after me, okay? And remember that this is an exercise that you can do as many times as you need. If you have any questions at all, leave me a question in the comments or send me a message over WhatsApp. Remember that I am here to help, okay? So let's get started. Why didn't Paul hear us knock on the door? Take a shower. He might have been taking a shower. Repeat. Why was he stopped by the police? Go too fast. He might have been going too fast. Repeat. Let's get started. Why was he studying at 2 a.m.? Prepare for a test. He might have been preparing for a test. Repeat. Why were all the women students absent? Attend a meeting. They might have been attending a meeting. Why didn't Mrs. Johnson answer the telephone? Work in the garden. She might have been working in the garden. Why couldn't you see the dog? Hide behind the sofa. It might have been hiding behind the sofa. Why was it so hot in Mrs. Jones's kitchen? Bake bread. She might have been baking some bread. Or she might have been baking bread. It's okay, don't worry. Why was she carrying a bag of corn? Feed the chickens. She might have been feeding the chickens. Okay, so now we continue on the same exercise, but we're going to practice the negative form, okay? So it says, she didn't understand anything the professor said. Pay attention. She might not have been paying attention, okay? So for the next items in the exercise, we're going to focus on might not have been, and then the verb with ing. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and repeat this one and then continue with number 8. She didn't understand anything the professor said. Pay attention. She might not have been paying attention. Just in case, before we continue, I'm sorry, I'm going to show you how it sounds when you link it all together. Might not have been is might not have been. So she might not have been paying attention, okay? I am going to say it fluently. I'm going to connect it all. And I hope that you guys train those ears and again, repeat this exercise as many times as you need. Why wasn't she worried about the weather? Travel by air. She might not have been traveling by air. Why couldn't they understand the explanation? Try very hard. They might not have been trying very hard. Why did Mike keep his bicycle in the basement? Use it. He might not have been using it. Why was Mr. Young doing worse than the others? Attend regularly. He might not have been attending regularly. Why were the students discouraged? Make progress. They might not have been making progress. And last but not least, why were Donald's hands getting sore? Wear his gloves. He might not have been wearing his gloves. Okay? So, again, the structure that we are using is referring to something that was happening at the moment. And you're speaking in past, and that is the reason why we are using have. Okay? Thank you very much for learning with me today. Again, I am here for you. Leave me a comment. Please make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, share it with everybody. Make sure you share the knowledge, and see you next class, guys. Remember, English is easy. You just need to practice, okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.